Next week on Coronation Street is set to be a dramatic one, as Mick Michaelis, Joe Layton, breaks out of prison and takes hostages. Lives are at stake as Mick goes out in search of his family, planning to run away with them. But will he get away with? And what will happen to anyone who dares get in his way? Elsewhere, the battle is on for the ownership of No 6 as Debbie Webster, Sue Devaney, and Carla Connor, Allison King go head to head. Debbie's reasons for wanting No 6 so desperately leave Kevin Webster, Michael Lavelle, feeling guilty, but will he finally come clean about his lies? Carla's troubles also go beyond the competition for the house when Lisa Swain, Vicky Myers, freezes when faced with a masked robber, leaving Carla concerned about her girlfriend. The target of the robbery is none other than the Allahan's shop, where Adi, Adam Hussein, must face the music when a certain someone returns. Following news that his family are falling apart and Lou Michaelis, Farrell Hagarty, is in trouble, this dramatic episode follows Mick's prison breakout and siege as he desperately demands his kids are handed over so he can do a runner with his family. In his prison cell, an agitated Mick reads a message on his burner phone. Meanwhile, Brody Michaelis, Ryan Mulvey, calls at No 4 for Joni and Shanice. When Sally Metcalf, Sally Dinevor, reveals that Tim Metcalf, Joe the teen, is taking Joni to a taster day at Weatherfield High. Brody masks his panic and furtively calls Mick. As Daniel Osborne, Rob Mallard, prepares for his interview at Weatherfield High, the kids give Joni a hard time about her parents. When Joni becomes teary, the school calls Sally and requests she take her home. Meanwhile, at the station, PC Jess quizzes Lou about Mick's prison escape, but she denies all knowledge. Back at the school, Daniel and Mrs. Crawshaw are shocked to come face to face with Mick, who tells them he wants Joni. Mrs. Crawshaw explains that Sally picked Joni up. Mick locks them in the office and speeds off. As Sally offers Joni a tour of the factory while the girls are at the pub, Mick heads to the street, closely followed by Kit Green, Jacob Roberts. What has he got planned, and will Kit be able to stop him? Elsewhere, Kevin assures Tyrone Dobbs, Alan Halsall, that he'll tell Abby the truth about his cancer once they're back from their weekend away. Kit faces life-saving surgery following his confrontation with Mick. Will he pull through? With no sign of Brody since last night, Bernie Winters, Jane Haslegrove, fears increase. Has Mick made his escape with his family? Nick Tilsley, Ben Price, tries to talk to Sam Blakeman, Jude Riordan, about the incident with Mick at the school, but he refuses to engage. Hope Stape, Isabella Flanagan, reveals to Nick how Lily Platt, Brooke Maloney, hid in a classroom, but she wouldn't let Sam in, and he was left to fend for himself. Nick is not happy and confronts David Platt, Jack P. Shepard. Elsewhere, Lauren Bolton, Kate Fitton, invites Audie to join her and Frankie for tea, explaining it's her way of apologizing for her recent behavior. Addie agrees, unaware of Lauren's growing feelings for him. Having spoken to the estate agent, a furious Debbie tells Ronnie Bailey, then to Morgan, that they've lost out on No 6 to Carla. Friday, July 18. There is panic as a masked robber dashes out of the corner shop. However, Lisa freezes and Carla's puzzled by her lack of action. Carla quizzes Lisa, wanting to know why she didn't arrest the robber, but let him run off. Lisa refuses to discuss it and Carla's troubled. Audie tells Asha Allahan, Tanisha Gori, how the lad threatened him with a wrench and forced him to empty the safe. Asha assures him it's not his fault and he's the victim of a crime. As he tells PC Jess what happened, Audie explains the robber made off with £6,000 in cash, but shares his relief that they're insured. As Bernie clocks his shifty demeanor, is there more to this than Audie's letting on? Suddenly the door flies open and Dev Allahan, Jimmy Harkishin, barrels in, wondering what he's missed. Ronnie begs Debbie to retract her crazy offer for No 6, but she won't hear of it and reminds him she's a successful businesswoman. Ronnie confides in Kevin that Debbie is determined to buy No 6 as she wants to be nearby to support him through his cancer treatment. Feeling guilty, Kevin spells out to Debbie that he doesn't want her to make any rash decisions because of him. Mick Michaelis, Joe Layton, incarcerated for a brutal double murder, has endured months behind bars at HMP Weatherfield. Yet the father's paternal instinct and guilt over his family's fragmentation have driven him to desperate measures. In a tense cliffhanger, Mick uses a clandestine cell phone, smuggled in by an unknown accomplice, to receive word that his younger brother Lou Michaelis, Farrell Haggarty, is embroiled in legal trouble over unsavory debts. Furious and fearful that his children may end up at the mercy of Lou's unscrupulous associates, Mick incites a riotous diversion in the exercise yard, then makes his move. When alarms echo and guards scramble, Mick slips away under the cover of chaos, vanishing into the night. No sooner has Mick taken his first unshackled step than Brody Michaelis, Ryan Mulvey, his teenage son, arrives at number 4 to visit half-sister Joni, Isabella Melling, and stepmother Shanice, Shiv Jalota. Sensing Brody's agitation, Joni confides in Sally Metcalf, Sally Dynevor, about her nerves over an upcoming taster day at Weatherfield High. Meanwhile, Mick calls Brody on his burner phone, instructing him to arrange a pickup at the school. When Joni finds herself locked in an office with teacher Mrs. Crawshaw, Mick storms in, demanding to see his daughter. Panic ensues as he barricades the door, kidnapping both Mrs. Crawshaw and the terrified children, then speeds off in Sally's car, commandeered moments earlier, setting the stage for a high-octane manhunt. As Mick holds hostages in an abandoned warehouse on Grosvenor Street, PC Jess, Lisette Anthony, coordinates the police response from the station. Sally races to join the perimeter, grief-stricken at her failure to safeguard Joni. When Kirsty Soames's cousin Kit Green, Jacob Roberts, spots Mick hauling boxes into the warehouse, he triggers an unofficial pursuit, nearly colliding with Mick's vehicle. The fugitive's volatility emerges in full force when he brandishes a hammer, threatening Brody if the police get any closer. Back at the Rover's return, news of the siege sends ripples of fear throughout the community. Tyrone Dobbs, Alan Halsall, and Fizz Brown, Jenny McAlpine, volunteered to mediate, recalling their own hostage survival experiences. Viewers will witness a race against time as Mick, driven by misguided loyalty and fragmented love, demands his children's safe passage. Kevin Webster's Michael Lavelle purported cancer recurrence has already had devastating repercussions. Believing her brother is battling another round of chemotherapy, Debbie Webster, Sue Devaney, resolves to move directly across the street to support him. Identifying number 6 Coronation Street as the perfect location, spacious, near the cafe she runs, and within arm's reach of Kevin's side, Debbie puts in what she deems a sensible initial offer. But when viral social media clips reveal Carla Connor, Allison King, has also submitted a bid, Debbie's compassion morphs into competitive fervor. In an episode rich with emotional stakes, Debbie doubles her bid to outdo Carla, despite warnings from fiancé Ronnie Bailey, Vinta Morgan, that she's risking her life savings. Carla, aware of her rival's motives, counters with a sealed bid that leverages her financial clout from Underworld's profits. Yet, in a twist, she tempers her own aggressiveness by offering a heartfelt olive branch. Should Debbie need short-term accommodation during Carla's renovation of number 6, she's welcome to stay at Underworld's guest flat. This gesture, meant to soften the blow, only stokes Debbie's determination. Backroom negotiations with estate agent Yasmin Nazir reveal that Carla's bid slightly edges out Debbie's, but the outcome remains unconfirmed, keeping fans guessing until a final reveal in Friday's episode.